Good morning, everybody. Welcome. This is Dr. Rao. Today, very nice subject. I wrote an article on not only possibility of the stress-free living and how it is needed, why it is not just possible, also why it is necessary in today's world. Okay. Those who are attending my morning routine, they see me telling you that we finished the last part where we observe the thoughts, being the witness consciousness. I tell them, uh, you are not just the body and mind, but they are your tools and your conscious being. Okay, so if you could stay in that, the stress that happens in the mind and the body, they don't have to really be there, right? So, see, we have constant demands, and the demands are relentless, and distractions are boundless, right? That is our current lifestyle and life situation for anybody. For me, who is working as a doctor and now kind of helping people online, um, uh, see, all these ideas about stress-free living can seem like distant and almost unattainable, right? But if I told you that not only is it possible to live without the chains of stress, but is also essential for well-being in this era. I talk about the proactive wellness all the time, right? So it is essential to understand and really put your mind into it. Okay, so we're going to delve deep into this pursuit because it is more irrelevant now than ever before, and how we can take practical steps towards achieving it. Okay, see, the reality of the modern stress is, um, this world nothing stops. Information is constantly streaming in through our devices. Like you, I'm kind of producing more information here, right? Uh, so, say work is more demanding than ever, and expectations are very high, right? The cumulative impact of this environment is manifesting as chronic stress, okay, which kind of erodes our mental and physical health. So, studies have shown that chronic stress contributes to a multitude of diseases, issues, including cardiovascular disease, weakened immunity, and mental health disorders such as anxiety and depression. But stress does not have to be a life sentence. Okay. See, the path to stress free living isn't about escaping responsibilities or avoiding challenges, right? Rather, it is about fundamentally shifting our approach to life from being caught in a reactive state to living with awareness and presence, right? Why stress free living is essential now is that there's a need for a shift in how we manage stress has never been greater. Okay, this modern era is characterized by what I call the double-edged progress. On one side, we have advanced technology, greater connectivity, and access to more information than ever before. On the other side, the same progress can leave us feeling disconnected from each other, from ourselves first, and then so overextended and overstimulated. See, we are feeling disconnected from our real selves and overextended, doing too much, and overstimulated, too many impulses. See, the solution for this lies not in rejecting the modern life, but in redefining our relationship with it. So you end up redefine your relationship and then live like that. We must anchor ourselves in practices that cultivate awareness and resilience, allowing us to experience the world's complexity without being overwhelmed by it. So I'm asking more engagement, more living, right? But not in a stressful way, you know. So practical steps are, I always talk about it. Get up in the awareness in the morning. Okay, that's the first thing. First step is journey beginning with awareness. So take time each morning to wake up in awareness. Okay, that sets up the tone for the day. So avoid turning on the devices right away. Okay, instead be present with the life around you. So notice the morning light or the breath in your body or any of the subtle sounds around, and then anything that coming up after you wake up, right? This simple practice tools really help you a lot. Look at the plants, look at the animals, look at the people around you, but don't make any mental comment. Just be aware of them that they are there. That kind of thing really helps you, right? Be aware. And also, not switching on the world. By not switching on the devices, you have less stimuli. But then you are more aware of the life around you. That's the important thing. Note down that, and you will be really be in aware at least for a few minutes. Okay, and then after you wake up and after you establish yourself in the presence, then when you go to work, what you want to do is mindful attention for every action. Awareness first, and then attention to every action through the day. Okay? So As you move through your daily tasks, divide them into series of tasks, and each task take it and pay attention. Say this practicing to bring full attention to each action is very energy consuming because you are not thinking all over. So no multitasking, only one task at a time. Okay. uh, you could be engaging in a conversation, or writing an email, or preparing a meal, or whatever you do, you do it with mindful presence. Okay. This attention, what it does is it reduces the tendency of the mind to wander, right, into worries or over analysis, or not able to foster calm state, right? But this one does foster the calm state of being by attending one task at a time. Okay, you are done with the day. Then you're going home and you are retiring. And before you retire, end your day by vacate the mind of accumulated thoughts, if you have retained any of the thoughts, right? So before slipping into sleep, take a moment to let go of the mental clutter, reflect on the day, express gratitude, and consciously release any lingering worries or anything that you need to remember. Write it down and then dump it for the night. See, this practice helps you to transition to a restful sleep and prepares you to wake up refreshed and aware. The awareness in the morning, attention during the day, and vacating the mind at night. So there are some tools that you could do too. The tools are breath work, for example. Uh, if you do alternate nostril breathing, which is called Nadi Shodhana, because it cleans up the channels of energy. Nadis are channels of energy. You can do that, and which I showed in the morning routine. It's a very simple thing. And Agnisara, that is like a metabolic stimulator where you hold the breath and move the abdominal wall up and down. So number of times. These things can really clear up your you know energy channels, nadis. And then you can involve yourself in what's called self-inquiry process. Ask the question, who am I? That's what is self-inquiry. And then observe the thoughts as they arise. And they allow us to realize what we really are, that we are more than the circumstances, more than the role, something. This awareness naturally dissolves stress. Okay, just be that awareness, not in the thought stream. And then um, you can work with your nature and immerse yourself, spend time um, to really be with nature and simplify the life. Okay, uh, the quiet presence of the plants and the natural world reminds us the peace that is always accessible within. They are peacefully existing. They stay there. So my mantra for the stress-free living is aware, attention, and vacate. Aware, attention, and vacation. So this is the way you pursue stress-free life. Okay. So this is a lofty ideal to be stress-free living, but it's an essential skill that we want to use during this. I use it. I'm kind of, you know, in the moment, present all the time, and do work, do things. But then I am completely present when I'm doing it, and after that is done, next task I'm completely present. So I don't take this to that, unless it is needed and all that. But basically, maintaining attention to everything. Ramana Maharshi taught me something like attention has always to be poised on our inner real self, real essence, not on our mind, not on our. If you allow the mind to build on itself, it will go on doing that. And external stimuli, so many things that we do outwardly, they complicate the picture. but being within yourself and then doing is really important. Okay, so I wrote an article on this, and that article is in the LinkedIn. So I posted it today, and also by school community. There is a um, engaged thought leaders community I'm part of, and I put in that community too. So, anybody has comments on it or want to know more about it, you can come up and ask me questions if you like. But generally, what happens is people get up and immediately engage in outward world right away. Take a moment. That's all I'm saying. Take a moment and be in yourself. Even if you are not working, you kind of retired or semi-retired like I am. I don't think I'm retired. I'm more involved in more things now than I was running my clinic. But after my clinic is closed, I opened this online thing and really promote what I think the healthcare system needs to be wellness oriented. So I'm practicing it, and I'm kind of helping my friends, whoever seeks uh, uh, my counsel or consultation, whatever I do that. But beyond that, uh, it's important to really point out that this illness is allowed to happen just like that, and then there are so many things we can do to prevent. That's one thing. And so you got to take a proactive approach towards that. But then once you are ill, yeah, we definitely have to treat it. That we will do. But can we do some things to prevent illness happening? Yeah, you bet you. They have done centuries of ago, and now this modern medicine that is evolved to treat a lot more conditions much well. So we should be doing much better, right? But we should combine the wisdom that we inherited, and it was there, and also the wisdom of the science, right? So we can do a lot of it. But the problem is we are promoting so many lifestyles that really causes problems for our health and wellness. That's where we are really having the problem. We don't control nutrition industry and nutrition peddlers, the restaurants, the people who really elevate food being not just a necessary thing and maybe some pleasure, but it makes it more money making thing, more political thing, more psychological thing, more of the social thing. Okay, you can examine that and then really say, I want to keep this body healthy and well and for a long time, and I don't want to invite unnecessary chronic diseases suffering. It's as simple as that. Okay, if you have that, if you have that common sense, and if you have really look into that like that, then you will be able to take some care about your nutrition, because there's so much knowledge. We have so many nutritionists. Nutrition science has become so much, and we can easily fix the diet in the industry level. Why do have to prey upon the taste sensation of the people and prepare all meals that are really processed food, and which is really enhancing these chronic diseases and also poor outcomes. And we allow the entertainment industry and static and that means sedentary living, right? That we promote quite a lot, as though the mental pressure and all that is everything, and we can sit down and put our mind in circulation, like constantly feeding people, and enormous money, enormous energy goes into the entertainment industry. Is that really good for you? Isn't that making you sedentary and affecting your health? We need to be wise upon that on a daily basis. Okay, some entertainment after you work and all that was really good. Okay, to revive ourselves, to relax ourselves. That's fine. But this habit of making a psychological habit of seeing the soap, seeing the, you know what I'm talking about. So how about people are really supplied with the materials that are very addictive and destroying our health. See, smoking, drinking, drugs, and also all this information, all are addictive. So you could do that. So if you are aware and then use your body and mind as tools, I don't think why there should be so much illness, and also stress is an illness too. Some people may argue, oh, when I'm stressed, I'm going to be working better and all that, use stress and all that. Yeah, if you use it as a stimulation and then do not allow it to become worry or anxiety or depression, yeah, that's good. But then, are you really doing that? Are you led by the biological reactions, and then they react in stress hormones and they affect your body physiology? That's the reality, right? That's happening to many people. So I wise up, look at it in a fresh angle, and then you say, "Yeah, why am I allowing myself to be stressed out like this?" And first of all, why am I identifying myself with the body and the mind, but not the inner essence? Those kind of reflections would help better for you. Okay. Um, I have a guest here. Let us welcome her. Brooke, I think. Okay. I don't know what happened. She got the, okay. The app does that. Please try again, Brooke, or go out of the app and come back. That may work for you. So I'm posing a very simple question. Do you need all the stress? Do you have the wherewithal nowadays to deal with it? Yeah, just be yourself. Be your inner self, not the personality, not the personhood, not the ego. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about inner essence of our life. Okay, that's the awareness. And once you are there, then you are aware of body as a subject, and also you are aware of the mind as an object too, thoughts as an object too. Then you are not overwhelmed by them. You are really watching them, and then that itself makes a lot of use for it. Okay, so think about it, and do the practice as I told you. Get up in the morning, don't get on the bandwagon of the thought, and be aware, be in the present, and then continue that as attention to every action through the day. And at the night, vacate all the mind and then go to sleep. See what kind of energy difference it makes. And also the health point of view, you don't have this stress hormones because you are reacting unnecessarily. Respond to things without emotional reaction. And they say, oh, we are human beings. No, you are a human being. Not only you have that weakness of getting emotional react and all that, you have the potential to be above that, and then really not react that way, not being hard or cruel or anything, none of that. It's more like a understanding these things happen, and there's no point reacting to it as much as trying to attend and fix the problem, right? Once you do that, then you will be able to trust yourself too, because you see more and more of capacity coming in, and the challenges may be there, and they will improve once you take the challenge and then want to improve your capacity. You are well off, right? At the end of that, each reaction is not there, but you are responding to the task with the real focus and in flow. And when you do that work very well, then your confidence goes up. That's how we build up all the skills, right? So if you just want to say, "Oh, I'm going to react," or "This is human to react," and all that, um, well, nothing can be done, and the people will be stressed out, and the stress is taking a toll on your body and mind, and you will be paying for it. Okay, so it's a question of choice. It's a question of what we do, right? So, so be aware of that, and if you really want to do this, you can start with the morning, start with the day in the moment, and then at the end, really empty that mind. Don't let it go on, and then go on and settle down in your mind. I think that happens a lot of people. They don't pay attention, and they will retain a lot of thoughts unnecessarily, and that overwhelms them. That kind of gives them stress and all. Okay, so people do that. So okay, all right. So so anybody wants to come up? With the Brooke tried to come up, and but something happened with her thing. So I kind of invested in this quite a lot, and I'm benefiting because of that on a daily basis. You see, so my routine is get up in the morning and just be present. And one thing that helps that is deep breaths. Take deep breaths. Don't say anything, and then keep your attention on the edge of the nose as the air coming in and going out. I'll do like a 10 breaths or so. Then I pay attention to what is happening around me. The day, how is this? Is it snowy or is it raining or is it bright light? What is outside? I kind of be with the nature a few minutes, and then with the life around me, the dogs or the birds or the people. I could just to pay attention to that, right? And when that happens, really, I'm able to be in the present much more with the life around me. Okay, and also watching. And my mind is running with impressions on those things I'm observing. Am I describing them? Am I getting images from them and all? This is called pratyahara. You allow the stimuli come to you, but you won't make reactions. You watch that, then the stimuli will be there, and but you have no reaction to that. That's a practice of the yoga pratyahara. Because you are established in the presence, it's much easier not to react to everything like, right? So I do that, and then I may have a wellness club, and people come to do yoga with me. Then I do it, and then that's all done. Then I may listen to something elevated thought if I have the time. Otherwise, I just go on the, do all the bathing and all that. Once the bathroom minutes are done, then you come, and then usually there will be some time before I start the morning routine on the social media. I do transmit several platforms: Instagram, Noom Vibe, sometimes Clubhouse, and then three on the StreamYard on my computer, like I'm doing right now, on the LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, right? So I look at 5 or 6 channels. I do my morning routine, and people who have come, they have been doing, but they're there. I tell about awareness and alignment. 2 A's: awareness in the moment, in our real essence, be there. That is, awareness is of real essence. Then I say align your 3 B's: body, brain, and breath. And then we do some breathing to warm us up, and then some stretches, and then we kind of pay attention to what is happening and try to keep ourselves in the present moment. And then we kind of want to establish ourselves in that witness consciousness I'm talking about, which is really observing the body and mind as tools and using them as tools. That's the end of the practice. And after morning, why the morning routine is, I want a body that is strong and capable to go and do. So we can do a variety of things for that. And then we want to take deep breaths so that we won't be reacting quickly, but we will be responding. And also, we are not engaged in the sympathetic tone by reacting quickly, but we are engaging our parasympathetic nervous system by deep breathing. That is a rest and digest system. That's an antidote for the reactions that we have at work. That's why it was designed like that. So your body is energetic, your mind is in the present, it's not reacting with the deep breathing and all that. And then you go and open your heart and give service, help people, do something, anything, and also cultivate this attitude of paying attention to everything. That's one thing, but also being kind and also being grateful for the opportunities that you have. And go with the attitude of giving, like the sun who gives all the time, never asking anything in return. So it's up to you how much you can give, how much you don't want to give. It's up to you. It's not no rule, but cultivate the attitude of let me be helpful, loving, kind, caring, that kind of thing. That really nurtures you and other people too. That's very important to not to have the stress also, right? And then after you're doing the work, contribute such a way that is going to elevate that institution, elevate the whole people there, and that is a very wonderful thing. If you don't want to really have stress, try to do that attitude of what can I give to the institution or to the community or to family or anybody other than you, bigger than you. Okay. And then once you are contributing like that and also not engaging the mind in judgments, in conclusions, in opinions, I think that will be a lot more saving energy than giving it, right? So, I mean, you spend a lot of energy unnecessarily in these things. And people take opinions, judgments, and conclusions, and all that, and they retain them. So it's all a waste of energy. Human beings are human beings, maybe different levels of journey. So have that kind of forgiving or non-judging, loving attitude, and you yourself save a lot of stress and energy for yourself. You know? And then after the contribution is done, don't expect anything in return. Don't allow your ego to needing things and then building up. That's also unnecessary. And what once you have a significant contribution to whatever you're doing, like I'm doing this talk, I think this is significant if it touches one person who can understand what I'm talking about stress-free living and how you can do it, even if they try and find something meaningful there. I have done a service, right? Not necessarily they have to come back to me and praise me and all that. I don't need those things. Okay, I am pretty abundant within myself. So not in terms of material things, but in terms of how I establish myself in that abundance, and then I know that is there with everybody. Just have to touch it. And for that, these not allowing the mind to go wherever it wants to go or bring in all sorts of quotations. Now, be quiet, be quiet. That is the thing. You got to be quiet in the chattering mind to really touch that eternal thing that is within you. Okay, that energy. Okay, so do that. Okay, um, so if you want to be stress-free life, use the mind. Don't be used by the mind. Okay, so if you are in charge of your mind, then you will watch the reactions and not allow them to mushroom, right? And you can have, but then slowly they go down. Suppose I come here and somebody says, oh, this is wisdom, this is yeah, I watch that reaction. If it doesn't come now, if it all comes up, your ego trying to enjoy itself and the feeling pleasing and all that, right? Watch that reaction and don't fall for it. And then it will subside. Otherwise, it becomes a need for you down the line, as everybody has to praise you and say, "Oh, I'm a human being. I need that kind of association." That's a weakness you are developing. Okay, so just watch whatever reaction it is. Suppose you are jealous of somebody who has something, watch that too, right? That kind of thing. So by being established in your real essence, not in your talkative, intellectual, however clever you are, however shrewd you are, however articulate you are, it's still the same thing, right? Watch it. Don't fall for it. Then the mind will be free of that. And then our mind also doesn't bother it, it takes its place and quiet. But when you want to use the mind for something significant, that happens. Okay, so anybody has any comments? Everybody keeps silent. They're very strange. I feel like sometimes, am I talking to somebody? Is there anybody or not? So this stress-free living is quite possible, and you don't need to study a lot. You don't need to be a scholar. The more scholarly you are, the problem becomes more, right? So all you need is just be yourself in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the night, and understand the forces that impinge on not you being the self, the ignorance thing, right? Understand those dynamics, and then let them be rested, and then you will be in your real self. Okay, you are not your body, you are not your mind, has that much significance. You remember when I do the Shambhavi Mudra, what do I say? Deham Naham Koham Soham. Deham means this body mind complex. Sharir, they call it. Deham is the body, right? That body and mind complex is not you. Deham Naham. Koham means then who am I? If not my body. You have the body and mind, but you are not the body and mind. Don't identify with that. And then who am I then? Soham. Soham is a word derived from Sanskrit where they say you, Soham is that eternal consciousness, universal consciousness. You are that. Your thing is part of that. Once you understand that, aham is ourself, our smaller self. Then if you understand, there's nothing like a smaller self or bigger self. There's more like your ego, personhood, and all that, and your real awareness. Okay, so once you understand that, then you are that. You are that awareness, and you can not by word, but the feel that you are identifying who you really are. Okay, so do that, and then you'll be stress free. Okay, but that you should feel it. It's not like somebody is going to judge you and tell you that. You got to feel it. And the ancient way of simple living and inner richness has got a lot to do with this, right? That's why they were um, neurologically stable, physiologically very well, and also they led a long life, and with the energy and with a lot of skill about doing things. Okay, whatever they attempted, because they were kind of this stable and were able to do everything in flow. They didn't have all this onslaught of information. But now you are welcoming because you think getting few things, being productive few things is valuable enough to cost our health and mental wellness. I think that's what we should revisit and look at it on an individual basis. Those who really advocate more productivity, are they blind to all the real explosion of this chronic diseases, mental illnesses, or suicides, depressions, anxiety? I think it's a very irresponsible to say productivity is everything. No, productivity to have the basic needs is okay, but creating needs when they are near and then allowing people to be stressed out by that, I think that's really being unkind and also insensitive to the suffering that's going on with the stress that is generated by this doing stuff. They may say being, but then they want to use that again to doing more. That is what they think is like a success. It's like where I am going to be really happy, and you are not. And then you are not even sensitive about the suffering going around the world because the resources are not there and people don't have proper basic needs around the world, and you are not about it. And then you are not even sensitive about how much destruction is happening to the planet. We may not be in here. See how much heat we are suffering, how many floods we are suffering, how many fires we are suffering, and you are not responsible for it just because you want to more things. You are cruel. You are insensitive when you do that. I'm talking about everybody, not one particular person. I think trust is more about doing, more about getting things, and that is the productivity. For what? More suffering, more stress. So think about it. I think it's like I strongly feel that we should really understand what is stress. Do we have to go through the stress? Are there any means that you can look at and then employ them? One thing is, don't identify with your body and mind. Identify with your real, true inner self and stay there, and then use the body and mind as tools, and then you can repair them better. Okay. Okay. All right. So I said what I had to say, and anybody has any questions or something, you can call me. Otherwise, I will see you whenever I can. Okay. Bye bye.
see, unfortunately, for South Africa, that worm is on a bit of a decline, whereas India at this stage was starting to cut loose.
Your doctor may be able to explain to your insurance company that you've tried.
Good tactic, Ash. Yeah, it could be a good tactic. Upset Patel has